What up, y'all? I'm Sin.
I'm Joy.
And welcome to Big Girl Pantease,
where you get a plate of positivity, side of bluntness, with accountability for dessert.
Yep.
So first we wanted to start off by saying, if this is your first time tuning in, welcome. Thank you. Like, share, subscribe. No.
Yes, please. Thank you.
All that good stuff.
And for all of the people that is still tuning into us, everybody that's been supporting us from day one, we just want to say thank you so much. We've been feeling the love.
With us.
Y'all still rocking with us. We've been feeling the love. Y'all are DMing us. You're liking things. You're reposting. You're giving us so much good feedback. Yes, please keep emailing us questions because
last week.
We got quite a few this week.
Right.
And they are hilarious. And they're getting a little, y'all getting a little intrusive. Some of these you'll see in later episodes.
We're not going to do it this time.
No.
But next time we're going to do it. But we realize, we're still kind of new to all of this. So when we start talking, we're like, oh, we forget to tell you, if this is your very first time checking us out,
yes,
giving you an explanation for what it is, even though we absolutely love everybody who keeps coming back every week. So that's a good
welcome
thing.
If you are new
and
to
welcome
Big
back.
Girl Pantease, and welcome back.
So just to give a quick update, was it episode 3, Fraudulent Pantease, when I said that I was not drinking for the month of May.
Yes, and
I'm
gave
not
you
drinking
the look.
alcohol. I'm not drinking coffee. It is day 11. And by the time this actually airs, the retrograde will be over.
Hallelujah.
I'll still be sober.
Well, I have a little bit of an update.
Okay, talk to me. Are you
if you go back to episode 3, Fraudulent Pantease, you saw the look on my face.
It's gonna be you.
It's gonna be you.
Right.
You saw the look on my face.
Be.
I was not trying to drink at all because it's May and I want to be out there drinking a mimosa. But I decided on April 30th, when I was pouring my last glass of wine that Sunday night, that I was going to join you. So I am also day 11 into dry May. I have not had a drink since April 30th. June 1st can't motherfucking get here fast enough, but
I don't know if I'm
feeling good
back
though.
In.
No, I'm jumping back in that weekend.
She said
but then after that,
feet.
I will be back to my Sundays through Wednesdays, no drinking, and then Thursday nights
Friday.
for my Grey's Anatomy, and Friday if I'm out. If I'm home, I'll probably just do a mocktail. So I'm feeling better. I'm seeing the bloat, like the bloat is gone, stuff like that.
It affects your skin
clearing up.
It affects your brain.
Yes.
It affects, when you drink too much, like the
you
hangovers.
get lines in your face because of alcohol.
Yeah, honey. Well, that's also the sugar content.
Yeah.
But we'll do a
nutrition
skincare.
Yeah.
Panties.
Oh, yeah.
Because I don't mess around with that. Yeah. But I have noticed a change in these, and I'm looking because it tells me the actual date. I also haven't had coffee either, which is actually more difficult than I realized. Because
it's a
caffeine
daily
is
thing, right?
No, not just that. It's not just a habit. Caffeine is an actual drug.
Yeah.
So when you drink a lot
caffeine
of it and then you stop, you actually have like withdrawals like a crackhead.
You was doing this like
I was pookie. I've been pookieing from New Jack City.
Was you cranky as well, or did it?
Well,
tell the truth. Yeah, that means she adjusted the glasses. People, there's a story there.
I get snappy when I don't get enough sleep and when I don't have caffeine.
Okay.
And the combination is really, really bad in the middle of a Mercury retrograde, which we're still in. By the time this show airs, though, gratefully.
Oh, my God.
Thankfully, by the time this airs,
this Mercury retrograde
will be over. Well, that was the next thing that I wanted to catch up on. How has your retrograde been? Because it actually will be relevant at this point.
It's been a cluster fuck.
Well,
can I say that again? Cluster fuck.
All right.
No, it's just everything that can happen is retrograde fucking happen. It's like I'm dropping my phone. I leave the house. I don't have my wallet in the morning. I go back. I don't have my laptop. I go back. I step into a puddle of water this morning. Had to go back, clean my foot. I missed my train. I'm just like, you know what? And then
those of you who don't believe, I bet your ass believes now.
Small ass portion, and I'm not drinking, so I couldn't even just go home and get some wine or pour me some Henny.
Listen, I have shout out to Dro Drink.
Woo! Shout out to Dro Drink.
Shout out to Dro
Shout
Drink.
out to
That's
Dro
been,
Drink.
yeah, that's been keeping me sane. It's actually an infused happy beverage.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Everyone needs a vice.
When you saying how have I been dealing with that?
That's
Dro Drink.
Okay. Go get you one because I might need it.
I'm gonna hook you up.
Okay.
Chastity. Dro Drink in Brooklyn. Check it out.
Check it out. Good people.
Great people. Love her. That's one of my closest friends. But for me, I dropped my phone, my brand new phone, scratched it, and can't get it fixed. Missed 2 meetings, tripped and fell, got a like all kinds of missed appointments, sent wrong emails. I am. Yeah, I'm definitely ready. So hold on to your pants, or your pantees.
Your pantees.
Hold on to your pantees because
we really hope that your Mercury retrograde was not as crazy. If they were, and you have a crazy story, feel free to write
email us with that.
Yeah,
Big girl pantees
at yahoo.com. Yeah, we'd love to hear it. We'll pick out some juicy ones if we get some, and we'll share them on air.
Yeah, the newer ones.
Yeah.
So this week's episode is called
Motivation Pantease.
Or motivational pantease. Well, you'll know when we know. We'll figure it out at the end. No,
we'll get there.
But when you hear the word motivation, you automatically think of something positive. But what most people really don't realize is it's a conduit of energy. So motivation can be good motivation, or motivation can be bad motivation. So if you actually look at the definition, motivation, I have it here. The reason or reasons one has for acting or behaving in a particular way.
Yep. And that could be good or bad. So that's,
I've had negative motivations quite a bit.
Me too.
In my life. I've also had positive ones, which we'll jump into.
Thank God my positive outweigh my negative.
Well, I mean, it takes more muscles in your face to smile than frown. So just saying.
Yeah.
As far as like motivational goes, I think it really depends on the people you have around you. It also depends on what it is you're looking to gain, because you can have nefarious intent.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like for me personally, a few years ago, before I did my, work and evolution panties, episode 2.
Yep.
I used to do my stopping of drinking because I realized I was doing a bit too much. And I also came to a conclusion that it wasn't just me making these choices, but it was also my environment. And I had proclaimed that I wasn't going to drink for the month of June. And I think this was like 5 or 6 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say motivation can be negative, usually when you're trying to make a change in your life, if the people around you are not ready to make that change with you, they will become negative motivation. So that June, I had declared I wasn't going to drink, not to sound like a broken record. And I literally had a friend of mine, a close friend of mine at the time, that was like, when is this going to be over? Like she was literally counting down the days when I would drink with her again. And then it was like, oh, it's so funny. And you laugh it off. But you start to think about it. And it was like, that is motivation.
It's not even
it's motivation for me to, it's motivation for me to get back to my old habits so we could be doing the same things again, instead of, you know what, I'm going to motivate you to be better in the positive way. My motivation is me saying, when the fuck are you going to drink again? I'm sick and tired. Like you always on a break, and it's like, it made me question, like, well, maybe I shouldn't do this. This was pre-evolution though. Now you can get the finger, the middle. Okay. No.
There's a difference if somebody is like, I want to, when are we gonna drink again? Because it's a celebratory thing. Things are going on and you wanna, that's your MO.
Right.
But when somebody is constantly unhappy because you are growing,
right,
after a while you kind of start looking like, well, it's all good fun. Like I'm a party girl. Yeah, why not? Let's go have some drinks. And then it becomes a habit that you've fallen back into again.
Yep.
That you said that you was out of because of somebody else. Not because you decided you wanted to drink. Because it's almost like peer pressure. Yeah. It's peer pressure.
It's like an after school
And a lot
special.
of grown women and men do not want to admit that you still go through peer pressure as an adult. And I think it gets worse because you feel that you have to live up to a certain standard as being a grown-ass woman. Because I used to say, I'm a grown-ass woman in my 20s.
Right.
And now
you grown.
Now
I'm grown.
I don't have to say grown ass woman.
Honey, we grown.
I acted. I am who I am, and so I just really feel that it's okay if it's a celebratory thing, but you can tell when somebody's just being sour about what you got going on. And that's negative.
I did notice that. And I also had that with other friends in my life. Again, these people are no longer in my life at this point. But I go back to...
not be.
Here's the thing. But if people are willing to grow with you, then I think that's important. And you do need that positive motivation.
Or grow and come back, because sometimes you split apart from somebody,
right, yes.
And then you come back.
That was our case.
Yeah, and then you realize the growth, and you're like, okay,
we could do this. I could fuck with you.
But if we go apart, and then a year or two later we get back together, and you the same person.
But that happened too with us. So, funny story. We break up to make up. We're dysfunctional, toxic, formerly toxic, best friend couple.
Yeah.
And
we were off and on, man.
We was like...
Our moms used to look at us like,
so are we going to see her for Thanksgiving this year? No? Okay, fine. That's fine. My mom's like, well, when you going to make up with Sanaya? Because that girl can cook. I was like, I'm not going to say fuck you to my mom.
To Miss J,
but I thought about it. She was like, you made up with Sanaya?
And then you hate it because you want to
because you
strangle your own mom.
So you're not going to disrespect her and use F-bombs and say what you really want to say.
You really want to say, Mom, please.
I did. If looks could kill. She was like,
my God.
Oh, I guess that's a no.
That's the name you don't want to hear your best friend's name when you're not best friends
at that time.
Okay, when you're not best friending.
You're not best friending.
You don't want to hear it.
Well, actually, you're not even friending.
Yeah.
You're actually not even enemying.
My mom would do it too, so. You ain't speak to Joy. Yeah, I cut off before she even.
Who?
Yeah. What?
I don't know this person. I guess not.
Yeah, so we've been there.
On one of our breakups, we stopped talking about 2015. It was a 2015 breakup. It's funny, we know dates.
Yeah, we know dates. We remember.
So it was a 2015 breakup. At that time, we were all over the place. I was toxic as hell. I hadn't done growth. I was drinking way too much. I was all over the place, in all honesty. And in 2017, I actually bumped into Sanaya Sin randomly in the street when I was at lunch for work. Union Square. And I hadn't seen her in 2 years. She looked great. She dropped off. First of all, she was the slimmest I've ever seen her. She looked fabulous. She was the slimmest I've ever seen her.
As I cover myself.
She was.
I gotta get back to that.
You on your way.
I'm on my
motivation.
Way, girl.
Motivation.
Yes.
But she was the slimmest I had ever seen her. She looked great, and I felt like I'd seen a ghost because I hadn't seen her or spoken to her.
And we literally bumped into each other.
And we both had the same.
Thinking about her. I said, "Watch me run into her."
Manifestation.
Swear to God, I said, "Watch me run into her."
Manifestation.
And when I ran into her, I didn't even know what to do.
And we didn't. And we also weren't working close to each other.
That was the point. I was in Midtown.
She happened to be there for something
I'm never
else.
down there, Joy.
So I know, girl, I know. So we bump into each other, and quietly, I had been thinking about you too. So that again, manifestation.
It works.
So we bumped into each other, and we both looked like a deer in headlights. Like, oh shit, hey.
And it's awkward because you like,
hey girl, hey. You in 2 years. She's like, oh, I gotta go. We're doing a baby shower at the office. She was like,
I had like 20 bags because I had to get back because I was throwing my girl Sharon.
She was
shout out to my girl Sharon.
Oh, Sharon.
From Lord Mercy.
Oh, that was Sharon.
That was Sharon.
Oh, okay.
That was my heart. That's my heart.
Sharon.
My sister from another sister. I was rushing back because we was throwing her a surprise baby shower.
Got it.
So it really was the cab just pulled up and me and my friend is loading it in
and I'm like, and I say to you, I'm like, oh.
What in the hell is going on here?
What the hell is going on
this
between the sheets up in my home?
That's how you know we it's live. God damn it!
We're keeping all this.
We're keeping all this, and we got you in there with it. Like this is the most classic thing.
Retrograde Pantease.
Retrograde. God damn it.
Retrograde Pantease.
Shit,
Well, no, we're not going to change it now because we've already
motivational slash.
Motivational Mercury Pantease.
Yo, that has not happened.
That was great. That's never happened.
That was classic.
We're keeping that in.
We're definitely keeping that in. That was just the way to run it all together.
But it's also
retrograde.
Boom. But it's also seeing if we're paying attention to what we're talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
So we bump into each other.
I'm putting it in the car.
There we go. And I say it to her because I see her first. So I'm in my mind. I'm like, it's that. Do I say something or do I keep it pushing? And I was like, Sin?
What made you say something?
I don't know, because bitch, you my best friend.
So you
So I thought, honest to God,
okay.
I am not even gonna lie to you. It was a split-second moment where I was like, am I gonna say something? Have you ever seen
it's
an
like
ex?
when Big
Or when Miranda ran and hid on Sex in the City.
and when
after
Big
2 years.
saw Carrie at the end, and his first initiative was to smile because he's seeing her to give her the shoes, the Manolos, and
Oh,
then
you're talking about in the movie.
Then the movie, and then his face drops because he remembers the reality. It was like that, like
it was like, oh my God, Sin. Oh shit, we don't talk.
Yeah.
Hey girl, hey. So it was a moment we looked at each other like we saw a ghost, and then she rushed off because she was heading. We were both at work, so I emailed her that afternoon. Right? No, I emailed you. This was around your birthday.
Yeah.
So I emailed her and I said, hey, just want to check in, like try to rekindle
you
our friendship.
You emailed me on my birthday too.
I did. So we had a little conversation. She wasn't giving me shit. Hey, hope all is well with you.
Her, per my previous email.
Yeah, that's what she was giving. She was not giving.
I had to look. It was awkward. I had to make sure you was evolved like Evolution Pantease.
Funny part.
Episode 2.
Funny part. I emailed her on her birthday. So mind you, I hadn't done the work at this point because this was 2017. So I was still toxic. And she wasn't, I hate to say it like this, but she wasn't giving up the rhythm. It was nothing. It was like, she was like, I was like, so I actually got frustrated and kind of cursed her out over email.
On my birthday.
And this is what I mean about being apart and evolving, because she gave me a piece of her mind and then I just deleted all the the emails, and I was just like, fuck this bitch.
I was like, this is how I know you have not changed. You are trying to argue with me on my fucking birthday.
Again.
How low are you? Go evolve. Poof, pow. Be gone. Boop, boop, boop,
I don't know.
I did the shenanigans. Boop, 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 boop.
You don't know this bitch's tongue.
Was it warranted?
Okay, it was warranted,
my
but
birthday,
it still hurt.
You couldn't do it the day before. You couldn't do it on October 4th. You couldn't do it on...
Pantease.
Yeah, selfish pantease. I mean, maybe if you caught me on a different day, I'm about to go out. I'm about to, have myself a good time. And you're like, look, are we going to be friends or not?
No. Look.
Not,
or not, bitch.
Exclamation point.
Or not.
I was that was awkward. That was crazy.
So saying, as far as like bringing it back to motivation on the negative side, it can happen if these people evolve.
Yes.
But I'm be honest with you, and I know this is fucked up to say, even on air, I don't think that these people will evolve because as far as I know, they haven't.
No.
But for me, I can't deal with I need to be around motivation. I think it's very imperative for you to be very, very clear about the positive motivation.
Yep.
So as far as talk to us about negative motivation on your end, darling.
Oh, 2 things come to mind. At one point in my life, I had it's 2 stories I could tell, and I am going to hold off on the one that I was going to tell because I want in a later episode when we talk about a different episode that I'm going to be very transparent about that. So I'm going to hold off on that one. I'm going to do the other one that came to mind.
Okay.
Around 2010, 11, mentally, I just had a lot going on.
Mm-hmm.
Work, I was stressed out in my personal life. Things was going on in my relationship.
Mm-hmm. Was this when Jay?
No, this was 2011. This was Gabriel.
Okay, well, I didn't have to say a name. I was just trying to, cause remember we've been broken up. We break up, we make up. So I'm like, I be missing shit. So I just want to make sure I was on point with that. Go ahead.
No, it was him. And I just had a lot of stuff going on, and I was trying to process it. And then I was hanging around people. This was one, again, we were on the outs. This was, one of our
many breakups.
Yeah. I was around other people. You know how when you don't have your village anymore, and you try
pull
and
on anyone around you.
You try to find somebody to hang out with, or you start getting you start getting a new clique, and then the vibe ain't vibing, but you just like, all right, let me give people a chance. I was hanging out with a friend that was not motivated to do anything. Not as far as going out drinking and things, but as far as just having or wanting more in their life. Mm-hmm. And I've always been a go-getter. I've always been the type of person, I guess it's just from growing up, going to the kind of elementary school in the program that I was
Gifted
in.
and talented,
Gifted and talented program. It was a lot of work at a young age. I was in 3rd grade reading Animal Farm and Things Fall Apart by Chinua Achebe. I was reading. I was reading. I mean, totalitarianism. I still remember how to spell
college books.
Yeah, grown college books, doing algebra and sometimes pre-cal, and me and math don't go. And I was always, the person that did well in school, was always, and then I get to this age and I'm just lazy because I realize I'm around people that's not motivated to do a damn thing. They're not doing nothing per se negative.
But they're not doing anything positive either. It's like they're just here.
They're straddling the fence there, and then speaking to certain people is just meant for you to kiki and laugh with. I realize that. Sometimes you have to understand where you are in life and where somebody else is in life is different, and that's okay. And I can't keep, being around people that all you give me is kiki and laughter. I need people that is going to, in a positive way, motivate me to be the best thing I could be. And I want to be that for other people. Iron sharpens iron.
Yep.
So,
and steel sharpens steel.
And it does. And so for me, the negative part was I started taking on a negative mindset. I was getting lazy. I wasn't doing any research. I wasn't updating my resume because I wanted a higher salary. I wanted a better position. So I knew I had to go back and tweak my resume. I let that sit for months. I wasn't looking for jobs on the computer to increase my salary the way I wanted to. And I realized a whole year went by and I was just complacent. And that is not a word in my vocabulary. And I realized as much as I can point the finger at the people that I was around, but I have to point the finger into me as well because I'm in control of me and I allowed it to happen. And I never thought I'd be influenced like that. You think, I'm an alpha female for sure. And I always felt like, I got this. No, I have always been a leader, but I'm not no follower. What, please? And then I realized there's different forms of following. Yes, I'm not marching behind you and taking orders.
But you follow people on Instagram. You a follower?
Shout out to all my all the people that follow me, all my followers. I love you. _big girl panties on IG, please. Thank you. We appreciate you. I appreciate you. But I realized that I had to point the finger inward and it was on me. And so as soon as I said, love you, but just hanging out and kikiing and just drinking all the time is not the move. I had to make moves, and some people still are not making moves. Some people are. I hope that person is. I hope the people that I was around are.
Right.
But I know what I have to do, and that's all I'm focusing on. So that was my negative part of motivation. Now let's talk about the flip side, because there's always two sides to a coin.
Right.
Can you tell us a story of what has been one of your most positive motivations? Like, who's been around? What was the story that was just really helped you?
So there's a few. I think I started my whole spiritual journey around 2018 when I discovered somebody by the name of Imani Cohen. She goes by the Hood Healer. And she, first of all, she's super dope. And I had been following her for a while, and I actually was able to connect with her. And she was such a positive motivation as far as getting me on crystals, accountability, authenticity, being connected to spirit, and being in that fold, and her teachings and stuff like that. It really, really motivated me, and that's what kickstarted me to do some real work, as far as inner child workshops, as far as being honest about who I am as a person and what I need to work on. See, the easiest thing in life is it's easy for you to tell other people what's wrong with them, but it's very difficult if you are not on top of things, lack of a better term, to really figure out where it is that you need to make some changes and where it is that you need to actually do some work. And so Imani was one of the first people that really turned the mirror back on me and was like, these are the things you need to work on. And this is what's important. But I also love James Clear. He has a book called oh my gosh, I can't even think of the name of it. Atomic Habits. And I just picked that up, which is, I'm not through it yet, but that's an amazing read. And when I think about motivation, just not to be long-winded about it, when I look at people that are making a living creatively and living within their own means and following their own dreams, that shit is motivation to me. Like when I see somebody who is a creative that's actually that's able to make a career out of it, that's able to sustain themselves, that's able to feed their family, whatever it is that they want to do, that's motivation to me. Because that I grew up with a creative. My mom is a creative. I grew up in theater. So because of that, I actually went so far away from it. You know, you do different things. So I grew up as a creative, so I understand what it is. And being creative then and being creative now is completely different. Like we had a lot of experience. We were rich in experience. That's all I got to say. We were rich in experience. And the issue with that was I went right into corporate because I thought creative meant broke. Not broke, but like, you know, you are... It's not you're here for the it's for the creativity, it's for the art, you know, but it was like, you know, listen, I grew up well, I was never hungry, I was never homeless, I always had the things that I needed. My mom definitely absolutely did the best that she could, but I do know that sometimes being a creative doesn't equal a real job. You know, my grandparents are Caribbean. Creative? No, that's what kind of job is that? Okay, like exactly. Like what? So my mom went against the odds, and she was the first creative that I've ever met, but it didn't equal money. Now, my motivation is seeing creatives that are not only being themselves fully and authentically, but they're able to make a living from it. So that shit is like, again, not to repeat myself, that shit is motivating. Yeah. That's one of my motivations. Okay. On you, darling.
Mine starts with my mom. When you're raised by a strong Black woman, I had my dad was awesome and amazing, but I grew up in a household with my mom. My dad lived in Queens. I saw my father every day, pretty much my whole life, till the day he passed. But I grew up with my mom. And just watching a Black woman deal with life, deal with having a child in the projects, dealing with my father, dealing with after my father and my mother were no longer together when I was about 3-4 years old, and him being an asshole. Sorry, Dad, rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
To my mom, because she's trying to move on and get a boyfriend, and he want to break that up and act, show up when he knows she probably got company. To my mom, the jobs and working in blizzards, and my mom was, home health aide, and she worked with a lot of AIDS patients and cancer patients and children with learning disabilities. My mom was just grinding every day. She was just, and then the best mom when she came home, and loving and prayer warrior, and she just always got it done. Right. I don't know where all the money came from. I grew up beautifully. I had beautiful things. Yep. I had beautiful home. Yep. I had my own room. I had a brass bed. I had everything you could possibly think of. I was not spoiled. Let's be clear. I was not spoiled. I was in talent and gifted. My grades had to stay stellar. I had a cat. I had to make sure that my cat box was clean. I had dishes to do on Saturday morning. I had my chores. But, I still didn't get all the things I want. It was a hell to the no when I asked for a Sherlin. It was a hell to the no when I asked for an 8-ball Jagging. It was a hell to the no when I asked for Jordans. My mother was like, Michael Jordans is not.
Safety thing, too.
I get that, but
because back in the day, they would rip that shit off your back. I grew up in the 90s with an Averex, not to cut you off, they will rip that shit off your back. But please continue.
But when you're talking about, I'm talking about even later on when people wasn't taking them off, the joints off of people's feet. My mom's still like, no, you gonna rock your LA Gears. Ma, you're playing
LA Gears.
So
did they light up?
No, I had the pink and whites.
Okay.
The pink and whites was acceptable, but I couldn't find the purple, and that's my favorite color. But my motivation started with my mom, and because she's just dope. Shout out to my mother. I love you to death.
Yep. Shout out to the moms.
She is just the biggest motivation, always reminding me to keep going no matter what comes through in life, and always remember to pray, and always remember to just be strong. And in times to where I feel that I need to go to her, I can. And so I just love her. And then it kind of evolved to just Black women I've been around over the years. I have had the blessed opportunities to be around some amazing, strong Black women. Shout out to Pastor Reverend Lakeisha Waldron from 1 Corinthians Baptist Church. That's my first lady. She is stellar and brilliant and beautiful and strong and transparent and authentic and real. And being around her when I served on the women's ministry for a few years, she poured into me and told me what she saw in me. And that meant so much to me, just to have her tell me what she saw in me, and just watching her strength and watching how she is around people and still being cool, but still being a first lady, but still being a Black woman. I saw so many different sides of her, and I'm just in awe of what she does. So, and then it's just like women like Michelle Obama, like flautist, forever flautist. Who she is. I'm always attracted to women that are their authentic selves. They have flaws. They don't sugarcoat nothing. They are who they are. They're honest. They're always just trying to be better. So, Michelle Obama, as everybody knows, she is like gold.
Everybody's
we love her husband too. He alright.
He cool.
Shout out to President Barack Obama.
He cool.
But he alright. Sasha Malia, Grandma.
We talking about
Michelle. The dog. I'm cool out to everybody.
You saw my hoodie a few episodes ago.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Gold.
Shout out to the whole fam. We still love y'all. Please. We wish you'd come back, but y'all done did enough. Y'all don't have to do that.
That's gonna be another show.
That's a whole nother one. But I've had some really. I'm not just gonna say Black women, because I've had a lot of women that has influenced me in my life, but the core have been Black women. And as a Black woman, that means a lot to me, to be able to see strength and courage and vulnerability and honesty and transparency in these women. It's just amazing to see. So those are the kind of positive motivations I've had. And I'm just trying to be that to other people and myself. I just try and live by example. I'm not perfect. Trying to be better every day. Some people think they are. That's a whole nother.
I hope that I don't think anyone should ever think that they're perfect.
No, they shouldn't. But there's quite a few narcissistic people out there
for growth. There's nothing wrong with having a high sense of self and have self-esteem. Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. Actually, that's important. That's healthy.
But some people out there they're narcissists. And if you're a narcissist, they don't feel they can learn from anybody because they think they're the smartest person in the room.
If you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong fucking room.
And the day that you die, you will, on your deathbed, you can still learn something. You can learn from a 2-year-old.
Every time you learn something, you get a wrinkle in your brain. You should hope to have wrinkles in your brain until you take your last breath.
I've watched, you know how many things I've learned from watching children, even right now? Just their kindness, how they don't judge, they don't see color, they don't see any flaws. They just see, oh, you look like me. Let's have fun. And I wish the whole world looked like that. And I have to remind myself sometimes.
It did, though.
It did, but it doesn't anymore. And you have to find that within you, because life has taken me to a place to where I sometimes forget we're all human. We all bleed the same blood. And it's nice when you look at kids and they're just loving and they're just
kidding. They're kidding and enjoying life. They don't have a job. They don't have to worry about social media.
No, they don't have to worry about peer pressure. None of that.
They don't have to worry about what people
They just get to be and play in the sandbox. And I'm reminding myself every day until the day I die. Just play in the sandbox.
Play in the sandbox.
Whatever that means to you.
The sandbox is called the sandbox of life.
Yes, the sandbox of life. And make sure you have a ton of positive, motivational people around you, and go to events that are positive. There's a lot of things if you live in New York City, and if you don't, around the world, go into your neighborhood. There's free things. There's things in parks. Be around people that are happy. Be around people that are trying to better the world. Be around people that just exude a positive outlook on life. I promise you, if you're negative Nancy and you're going through it, eventually it's going to rub off on you. It really will. It will make you feel better.
The other thing is if you stay negative for too long, people won't want to be around you. Because it'll feel like, okay, every time I talk to this person, it's always complaining.
And that's the worst.
It's always an issue. It's always woe is me. And then after a while, you just like,
and then you
stop taking their call.
Yeah.
Or you shorten your time with them, or so
and you still love them. But
absolutely, but you just gotta like pull back a little bit. Yeah. Exactly. So it's like make sure that you're, as far as motivational panties, that you are surrounded by positive motivation that is actually pushing you to be your best self, because there is such thing as negative motivation. I still want to give a shout out to my creative mom, because I did have a good childhood. I don't want to make it seem like I didn't have a good childhood.
That was not what we said.
I was like, I want to make sure I say that.
That's what you were thinking.
I was just saying that was my first taste of seeing someone who wasn't following the norm and literally
doing their own path
by the feet of their own drum. And my mom is the first creative, because she's still here. Love you, Mom. Is the first creative that I ever came in contact with. So
we shout out to our moms. We got some awesome moms. We're blessed to
and it's also Mother's Day this weekend.
Shout out to all the mothers out there.
By the time it airs, this will be over.
It'll be over,
but in advance.
All the moms that's watching, shout out to our mothers. All the moms that are in heaven, may they rest in peace. Shout out to them. They're still moms.
Oh, you're a mom. Once you're a mom, you a mom.
Yep.
No matter
shout out
what.
to everyone that has a fur baby. Mine is resting in heaven right now. But shout out to all that have fur babies, because we know those are your kids.
Those are your
you're
kids.
A mom.
First of all,
have you ever
that
seen
person
that believes that? Yes, and that was just
Black people pets.
No,
on
before
Instagram.
we do that,
have you ever seen that?
Yes.
Shit? That's
Black people and their pets. We don't play.
It's called Black People Pets on Instagram. It's the best
and
Instagram ever.
Thing. Yes,
best. Sorry,
did you see the one with the dog where he was like, "I am not gonna take him to get no cup." I
followed him after that.
Me too. 5 minutes later, he like.
You see the dog with the pup cup. It's a pit bull too.
I know,
He's so funny. I love it. I know who you're talking about.
But Black people and their pets, we don't play. We do not play, and we give them full names. Shout out to, may she rest in peace, Mimi Randolph, because that was my baby.
Yeah, she was.
Yes,
she had a full name.
My baby. She had a full name. But yeah, to all mothers.
Shout out to moms. Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day. Have a blessed and beautiful weekend.
Yep. And
funk you, Retrograde.
Be nice. No.
Here.
Be nice, because we're gonna see it again.
Yeah. Well, funk you. This Retrograde, you can get your ass on out of here.
Right. And by the time this airs,
we're gonna be in the clear.
We'll be in the clear. So
we'll be in summer almost. Yeah. Well, June.
Why does everybody keep saying summer?
June.
Summer, the first day of summer,
Lord,
the summer
Jesus
solstice.
Christ.
Is June 21st.
Okay, we'll be in June.
That is the official first day of summer. The unofficial first day of summer is Memorial Day. So
dry Memorial Day for us. Dry. That's why I said June, because I'm waiting, because June
it's gonna be you. No.
All right, and it really is.
Because it's May.
I am getting me something.
She hasn't even figured out what she wants.
I might have a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Wake up with a hangover the next day.
I'm gonna have to talk to you, because you're actually actively thinking about
I am sitting
what
here
you're going
right
to
now.
drink when this is over.
Are you fucking psychic? I swear to God, because I zoned out and I was like, should I get Hennessy?
Yeah, see, I watched her.
Prosecco with Saint Germain. I was literally sitting here. Get out of, literally, you didn't gom. No, this is a different gom, because gom, we usually say the same things at the same time.
I just said what you were thinking.
God damn.
Yeah, best friend stuff. So on that note, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate
so much, guys,
y'all.
as always.
Follow us on Instagram.
Yes.
At Big Girl Pantease, Pantease, one word. I am Ms. Joy in the City on Instagram.
And I am Sin_Big Girl Pantease on Instagram. Follow us on Facebook. We have a Facebook page.
We have a Facebook page.
Big Girl Pantease on Facebook as well.
We're Big Girl Pantease everywhere. Oh, and also, if you wanted to email us a question that we will read on air, we'll bring that back next episode. It's biggirlpantease
at yahoo.com.
All right, have a great one, and we will catch y'all on the next go round.
Peace out.